Evening one and all, and welcome to a very wet, soggy Azerbaijan street circuit based around the famous castle, of which several drivers are not looking forward to the castle section itself. I am, as always, your host Matt, and I'm back for another week of sensational SAF1 action, brought to you by Ramsol Renewable Energy. Well, last week was a bit of a dominating performance from Conrad, who probably won by so much he just walked to Baku full of confidence. But this is a very different track, and in these conditions it's very tricky for anyone. But at this moment in time, everything worked out well for Trav last week, who extends his championship lead as his nearest competitors didn't have a good race or weren't there at all. You have Trav leads on 178 points, and then Nadim in second place with 139, who's going to need to recapture some of his fantastic early season form and consistency to get right back in the picture. And then Mackett, with his upticking form of recent weeks, is in third place with 137, and then you have Conrad, after last week's sensational performance, jumps all the way up to fourth with 128. Then you have the Matter, who's next with 103, and then you drop to Zardi on 85, Brandon on 78, tied with Ray, who always seem to be tied with someone every week, and then Phantom 75, and Quentin in the Mercedes on 72, Dexter has 70 points, Ronald 55, Alonso 48, Matt in the other Renault on 47, Vino in the Haas 46, Speed Knighton 38, and Dukester 21, Quentin in the Haas 18, and all the other full-time drivers yet to get off the mark, thanks to incidents and just sheer unluckiness. But the constructors is very different to the drivers. You have Williams on top with 236, Renault next with 224, Mercedes 209, Red Bull 161, AlphaTauri 153, Racing Point 140, Alfa Romeo 134, Scuderia Ferrari 91. I don't know why I said Scuderia, I never say that. But anyway, Ferrari on 91, McLaren on 81, and Haas trotting along nicely, now up to 64 points. So that's everything caught up to. As far as I'm aware, there's no quali bans this week. Everyone was well behaved last week. I don't think anything was reported, so that's always good to see. Let's hope it heightens everyone's awareness for this track. And I don't know what the race is going to be, but I know that right now it's all wet out there, as you can see for yourselves. So let's just sit on board with the Matter. Hope we don't slow him down too much, but it's hard to say if he's doing a good job or not, because it's wet, and I'm not too familiar with how you go around here in the wet. Luckily for me, I'm not out there now, because I know I would be having a very good time. But that is a purple Sector 1 from the Matter, and I'm not sure how that's going to stack up to people in and around where he usually qualifies, but that's a good line as well through there. I think there's only one line through Castle Section, wet or dry, so if you get it wrong in either conditions, you're going to be wearing the wall as a bracelet or something. Anyway, Knighton's out, is he? Yeah, he's on track. He's lost it just in Castle Section. We didn't see it, but I can see the car stationary on the minimap there. I would go to someone on board that's coming up there. There you go. Unfortunately, there was the car you just saw there in the what's the Matter? There he is. He's all go here. Just take a quick drink. While the Matter sorts out some slight issues he had coming around the not very final straight. 156.1, not good enough for pole position. It's he definitely made a mistake there. He has more time than that to find. So what's the beauty of these wet tyres is they can run forever. So if you make a mistake, as long as you don't damage them, you're going to be okay to do another run or more than that. The danger is if it becomes a wet race as well, you might need these tyres later, so because you only get 2 sets of wet tyres and 3 inters, which I think is far too few, because what if it's a terrible weekend or weather-wise and you can't do any running because you don't have any tyres. But anyway, that's something for real F1 bosses to gripe about. The Ghost is coming on the back of Dexter there. You can see it's not quite the race yet, but they're getting a very good start on it. Who's going to be ahead come turn 1? Yeah, Phantom realised what was happening. Dexter goes P9, and that's a solid banker lap there. It wasn't very smooth at some point. He's definitely had an incident somewhere, but let's have a look at Zardi. Who is one of 2 brothers, and I don't believe his brother's here tonight. We are going to be a bit of a shorter grid, so of course points for the top 15, but as long as you finish, you're going to get a point. So that's always it's always a bonus. Of course, 1 point could be 3 because you get 2 points for participation and 1 point for fastest lap inside the top 10. But that's covered in the race. But for now, this is qualifying, and let's just see who's going to give themselves the best chance of a good run into turn 1 by starting towards the front. At the moment, the House of Quintin has the advantage over Phantom and Mackett, and Nadeem is back as well, so that's good to see him back. Championship leader there is out on track, and he's getting some sort of... Oh, hello. They found a playmate. Bit of a slipstream there for Nadeem, who just pops it into pole position. Didn't realise he was on the lap, otherwise I would have gone to him. But there you go. Trav just starting another lap, and yeah, Nadeem will just back off, and that's a decent effort there. 54.4. Yeah, I've got nothing. Let's just see where Trav can put himself in relation. You need to be careful of the white lines, where if anyone can run them and get away with it, it's the championship leader, who in these conditions seems to not be fazed by it, but it's definitely not something I could recommend. He's struggling to get the power down in the lower gears, but through here, just ride the throttle round, and then hopefully you can put the power down about now when it straightens out a little bit. There you go. The power's down now, so it's not going to be a simple run to pole position, but Corey there, who gamer tag, has popped it into provisional P1. Good lap for him. But Trav is on one as well. 7/10 quicker, so let's just see where this can put him. And oh, out of the session entirely in this case. Sorry about that. I was on board with you the whole time, and the whole world saw it. So look at Quintin, who got his first podium of the season last week, and I don't know if he's expected another one, but I'm sure he's going to give it everything he's got to try and make that happen. Of course, that seems like a dumb thing to say, but first of all, he's got to tame the castle section, and then maybe he can think about getting a podium. I know he's worried about it, as are a few of the drivers. Castle has already claimed one victim, I'm pretty sure, in Speed Knighton down the bottom there in the early stages. We just saw Trav get it slightly wrong out of the into the I'd say final straight, but it's not really straight. It's a place on the track they have to go around. So we'll call it that for now. Pretty unfortunate to see him lose a wheel, because I've seen heavier contacts which come away with less damage, so it's just unfortunate that such as the angle is hit, I think, but turned in slightly too early and that just compromised his exit. But anyway, Quinty doesn't make the same mistake. He's gonna be up there. Let's see what he can do. What's he got in this Mercedes of his? Where's it gonna put him in relation to everyone else? Only P5 for now, but there's time to find. 55.0, that's about on par with what everyone else has done. But Corey's 53.9 is a impressive prime for these conditions. But Conrad last week's, oh, he's on intermediate tyres. Is that the best tyre to be on now? Definitely avoiding the curbs. Trying to put the power down, it seems to be a bit of an issue, but I'm sure he'll get that figured out. Yeah, a few have switched to Inters actually. Quintin's in the Haas has come back out on the Inters. No, he hasn't. But Nadeem has, for sure. I think Quinty was going to, but disconnected from the session instead. So yeah, I think Conrad's just seen what conditions are like before he goes for it, so we'll come back to him later. And Nadeem's just come out. Let's see where the matter is. He's about to start a lap, so let's go on board with him and let's see if he can improve on his 7th position. A good way to take turn 1. There's a few cars out in front, but I don't think they'll bother him too much. They'll know he's on a lap probably. So now it's about how you take this in these conditions, because you don't want to be stuck behind another car. But of course, slipstream is important, but of course dirty air can outweigh the positives you get from slipstream. So you have to take it quite cautiously, as the matter seems to be doing for now. I think they're just trying to feel their Inters in. I don't think they're hot enough yet to do a proper run, or it just looks slower than you might expect, because it is raining of course. But we'll see if Conrad has any better luck this time around. Oh, that's a bit of a mess of turn 1 there. Kept it out the wall though, so that's always good to see. Let's go to the Matter, who's behind the Phantom. Through the castle section. No dramas there. It's going to be difficult for all the cars that are about to start a lap to know where to go, but the Matter's gone perma through sector 2. I wonder how much that's going to improve him with the grid, and I think it might prove that Inters is the tyre to be on. As Corey now has gone to Inters. But look, what can the Matter do? It's going to be close, and he's going to abandon his lap. Why do they do that? Just trying to find someone that's close to finishing a lap. Corey's on an out lap. Dexter's not really bothering the scoreboard at the moment. G-Man, you can look at him. Hello, sir. Vino in the other Haas. His teammate is still not. Oh, his teammate has still not come back. Oh, alright. The excitement's getting to me already, and I forgot how to use words. Apologies everybody watching, but I will try to pull myself together. Ooh, Phantom was very close to the outside wall there. Just about got away with that through Castle, but his overalls used to be white, but now they're probably a nice shade of brown. But we're okay, I think. Let's just see. Okay, so Nadim has just gone top, which I didn't see. But yep, Inters is definitely the tyre to be on. So if you're on wets, you're not going to do a whole lot of troubling the scorers, I don't think. Less than 2 minutes to go, so if you're not on Inters now, you're not gonna be starting very high up, I don't think. Yeah, Zardi's gone 5th. He's improved by nearly 2/10, but there's just not enough water for them to operate at their proper level, so they are going to overheat and cause you understeer issues and all kinds of problems. As he's gone straight on the wall and just manages to get out the way of Quintin. And who's that going up behind him? That's also Phantom there too. Corey's gone back ahead of Nadim there. It's definitely into time. See if I haven't said that enough for this session, but Mackett's going for it on wet weather tyres. Well, full wet, I guess. But that's an interesting call. I don't think... Oh, there's a Racing Point facing the wrong way. Don't know which one it is. I think it was Ronald. Yeah, Ronald's having an issue. His Inters are now overheating, so that's probably going to be the end of his qualifying before it's properly begun, and that's not... Well... That's not... I can't say too much, but I'm not happy with that. But I'm sure the powers that be will do something about that if that's infringing it within the rules, but I don't like to see cars purposely crashing themselves out. Well, here we go. It just should improve here, should he? I don't know if he will actually. He won't. He left it too late to do a proper run. I think he backed off to try and get a better run at the last second, but he backed off too much and he won't get to go again. Here's the matter on the lap. Come back to him shortly, but let the Phantoms having it. Zardi's not having it. Mack is still soldiering out there on the wets. That's brave. That is quite a brave call. Nadim's on a lap behind you, man. Get out of the way. Oh, these conditions are so tricky. This track's tricky. The best times to get out of the way of someone on a fast lap. But yeah, go for it. Let's do this. Have a bit of a practice race, by all means, but keep it clean. Of course, that's cost the team a little bit of time there, as Mackett's now derating and gets out the way and takes off some of his wing to do so. I don't think Nadim will be improving much, but I don't think it's going to matter either. We're just seeing across the line to make sure. Yeah, Haas of Quintin gets bad. That's not any... Is that an... Was that an improvement? I don't know. I can't read numbers. Anyway, Conrad won't be improving, and that is the Williams driver starting from P1. Without very, very tricky conditions, it has to be said, so congrats to everyone that managed to get a time in. But yes, as you see, Nadim's back with a bang, starts from pole position. Hopefully it's better conditions in the race for the drivers, but a matter in second. That's a great performance for him as well. Earlier on in the session I thought he might get pole, but it just wasn't to be. Corey also opened the session with electric pace. Conrad probably would have been up there with a bit more time on the Inters, but 4th place. Mack is the highest race wet runner. Quintin's already also on wets, close to each other. Phantom and Quintin in the Merc. Vino in the Haas, his teammate is having problems connecting back. Didn't really do much, but there you go. There's a lot of drivers in the top 10 that have thrived with the wet weather conditions. But what will the race do? You're gonna have to stay tuned to find out. As we know, there we go. It should be a dry race with a skyline like that. But while we're waiting for the drivers, I'd just like to thank one more time Ram Solar Renewable Energy, the wonderful sponsors of this fantastic league, and I will give you more information about them at the end of the stream. But it's going to be a race to the first corner, and it's not that big a run from the line. Although the back straight is quite long, the run from the line to turn 1 is not altogether that long, so if you get a decent start you should be going out of turn 1 ahead, and of course into 2 and 3 ahead as well. But anything can happen as we're about to go into the final 10 seconds before the formation lap will begin. So hopefully we have an absolute belt of a race, which would be amazing to see 2 in a row. Around street circuits, they don't always provide the best action. But I don't think I've seen a bad race in this league yet. I've only been here for, well, whatever round number this is my same number of races I've been here. I think it's 8, so I've seen 8 races and I can't recall a bad one. Anyhow. Oops. Not allowed to show that, sorry, I made a mistake. It's habit. Anyway, interesting strategies here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the hards, of course, with the... Is that 9 on the hards, or is that medium at the top? Yeah, that is hards at the top. Of course, with the wet qualifying, you could start on whatever tyres you want to, and that could be key to some of these drivers in the top 10. Some of them have gone for traditional softs to probably soft to medium strategy, but some have gone hards, which will give them better grip towards the end of a race. So it's going to be interesting to find out which one of these drivers has called it right. But of course, safety cars change everything around here, and I guess those on the softs will be hoping for an early safety car. But of course, when they look around them and see that the majority of the grid's on hards, they might not fancy that so much as they usually would do. But here's a real problem area through the castle section. As I said, tricky enough in the dry, but it did claim 1 victim in the wet of qualifying. And that'll be Knighton down in 14th, who started on the softs. So watch out for his progress in the early part of this race. We have just the 1 medium run, and that's Dexter, who, for my money, is on the perfect tyre at this phase of the race from the position he started in, but what do I know? Let's just keep an eye on him and see what kind of... Did Quintin make it back? No, he didn't. He's still AI'd, so that's unfortunate. So he's still got time to get back, but it's not ideal to be stuck behind an AI car. But yeah, this should be a great race, and the team has just timed this perfectly. Everyone's just coming into the... See, look how long the back straight is in inverted commas. It's massive, but the run is about, I guess, 400 meters from the line. So, in fact, yeah, I'd say that it's about 100 meters from the line to the beginning of the curbs to take the braking point. So, look out for that later on in the race, and let's sort of run all at the back there. Just, yep. The Dean won't be waiting for too much longer as he takes his position on the right hand side of the track, 200 meter board, just to his right hand side, as you can see there. Ronald is now just about caught up to the grid, so he will slot in at the back. It's a one stop whichever way around you do this. Hards to soft, hards to mediums, mediums to soft, mediums to hards, whatever you want to do. I'm pretty sure it's a one stop race, so we are not having this. The team is in the lead, sorted out leaderboard. There's the lights. Blue flag, ignore that. 5 lights and away they go with the Grand Prix of Azerbaijan, and Nadim is quickest away off the line and has, like I said, it's a short run, and Mata tried something in the last second and didn't really work out for him. That's an incident already for Nadim, who's down into P6. Did he get damaged? I think he has damaged his wing. Yes, he has. And he's had to go straight on to avoid all the cars there. Quintin's had a nightmare there with Zardi, and you've got to be careful not to get disqualified for reversing on the track. It's a hectic start here, everybody, and I'm going to assume the Mata's in the lead, but he was responsible for a lot of that action there. Mackie's got another issue there with Phantom. This is a brutal start for some of these drivers, but Conrad's just there thinking, wow, it could be doing well for him, and that's very early to say that, and he's got a lot of work to do between here and there, but I tell you, at this moment in time it could be anyone's, just to level the field up a little bit more. But Corey's had a great start as well. In P3 we've got green flag, so Matters a little bit slow, which makes Conrad lift off, but there you go, Mackett's gaining now. Hey, who's got damage out of all these? Wish I could have a damage report. I need a Jeff to tell me someone's broke their wing, or someone. I need a pit lane reporter, a roving reporter. Conrad now leads on the hard tyres, and like I said, Dexter's not making the progress that I would have expected, but I'm sure he'll get some places in a minute, as there will be quite a lot of cars bolting into the pit lane. Good evening everybody that's watching now, and good evening to those that are watching at some point in the future. Can Conrad get past Corey, or Corey get, who is it the lead there? Two Red Bulls line the turn like that. Oh, there's no way DRS is enabled already. We're not on lap 3, are we? Anyway, the Matters had to come into the pits. Zardi's in the pit lane. Phantom's in the pits. There's quite a few that I would have expected to come in the pits, maybe just to try something different from the back, but they haven't, so fair play to them. Only ones that did pit are those that had to. But the Matters also just come out into, I don't know where he's come out actually, because the timing tower's decided to not work. He's not, Dexter's not in first. What is going on? I'm going to say Conrad is behind Corey. The Matters in the lead. Wow. 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 He's been in the pits and still come out in front. That's... Oh, Corey's been there. Oh, no. Corey's had a problem. Where's he done that? It's a full course. Oh, okay. I see what's happened there. Just coming out of the whole castle section, he's either caught a curb and lit up the rear that he's spun him into the wall, or he's had a little bit of a tap from behind which has spun him round. Either way, he is out of this race. He's had a monster start, but unfortunately it doesn't matter right now. And Corey is out of this race, and Conrad is comfortably in the lead, and everyone, I mean, I don't think Conrad will need to change tyres, but pretty sure Mackett, Quintin, Knighton will. They're on softs. They might go for something different now. I think he's trying to fake out the people behind him, which, well, I mean, Mackett hasn't done so. Quintin has gone in, as has Vino. Anybody else going to join them, or pretty much everyone else has already pit. Dexter's up into V6. There you go, lad. Of course, we don't show bias at the commentary box, but Dexter deserves a stronger result here. A lot of work to do, but he's in a good position for now. Ronald in the Racing Point is doing okay as well. The Matter is on the hards. It's just been in, so he could be good to the end and one to watch in the later stages of this championship race. Phantom and Zardi are going to be able to close up because it is a full course safety, and Conrad is behind it now, so that's a bonus to people at the back that they've had to stop early, but they are going to catch back up to the pack. Let's just hope they stay patient behind the safety car. I've seen it go very badly wrong in different leagues across many platforms, but these guys are some of the best out there, so I'm sure we won't have any of that. Just makes the castle section a little less scary for a few laps as you're crawling around, and minimal chance of a mistake. But of course, we're now approaching a place where a real F1 driver crashed behind the safety car at the real Azerbaijan Grand Prix a few seasons ago. But anyhow, that was then, this is now. He's going to go on board with the racing point of Zardi as he catches up to the back of the pack. And then when he does that, I'll filter through the field and see how they're doing. Thanks again everyone for watching in the chat. Your support is appreciated. Now or at any time. Well, this is a full course safety car, as you can see, with the full course yellow and the big safety car lights at the front. When those lights go out on top of the car, in fact a lot of the lights of the car will go out, that is when we're going to get back down to business. So Conrad's doing what he needs to do. Just wondering, that's a 5-second penalty. That if I was back, unless you're not allowed to do it here, I would have pitted under the safety car and served the penalty, change my tyres, and then I won't have to worry about it later. But there you go. All the people from 8th down have stopped at least once. All the top 7 need to pit, but unfortunately Mackett and Knighton will be boxing a lot sooner than they would like on the softs. Conrad and Trav, championship rivals, on the same strategy here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them going at it in the final few laps. And of course Dexter's on the medium, so he could pull up a bit of a wild card and have a strong race for him. He'll be boxed in late of course, but for now he's doing very well, up to 6th from outside the top 10. And we've already lost 2 runners unfortunately, and yeah, that I was going to say, one of them had lagged out the session a couple of times in qualifying, so I'm not really sure what happened to him, but anyway, he's out of the race. And Nadim was leading into turn 1 and everything went wrong for him. No fault of his own, I don't think, but that'll be for the stewards to figure out later. And for now, he's just going to do what he does and see how many more points he can take out of Trav's monumental lead at this point. But now we're going to go back on board with Conrad as the safety car has decided it's had enough. He needs a refill, he needs a drink and a pasty. So Conrad now is the de facto safety car, can go whenever he wants and no overtaking before the start finish line. Just warming up his tyres nice and easily. There we go. Nice camera shot of some cars warming their tyres. Very, very nice. And in a few moments, look at that, they're all anticipating him to go and can't do anything about it till he goes. And we are finally about to be underway again. Here we go in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the streets of Baku. And Conrad defends into turn 1. Someone goes slightly deep there. I think that was Speed Knight, and then goes a little bit deep into turn 1, but gets away with it. And he's all over the back of Mackett on the restart into turn 2 and possibly 3. And let's see if anyone can make any moves on this, especially Trav. He doesn't need to yet, but he won't want to finish 4th place. He'd want to be on the podium, but it doesn't matter too much now. There's a lot of racing still to go, 22 laps of course. But Conrad, Mackett and Knighton have got away very, very well off the restart. But of course, you would expect at this point Mackett to be able to overtake Conrad But of course, catching up is one thing, but overtaking is quite another. But due to the tyre compound differences, you would expect Mackie to be able to just gun it down the inside or something down the straight, and hopefully lead for a few laps before his tyres decide they don't like it anymore. But this is a very exciting start here, and let's hope the finish can be just as frantic. But for now, let's just focus on this battle for the lead. I was hoping Speed Knight would be tagged along in it, but he seems to have dropped back a little bit. Did he get minor damage off the wall when he went a little bit right into turn 1 there? You have to wonder if that's got something to do with it. He just seems to be able to just stay there thereabouts, but not quite gain on the 2 cars in front of him. But crucially at this point he's not losing any time to the car behind either, but this could be where Mackett tries to make a move into turn 1. Nice and early move. Can he do it? Mackett into the lead of this race, but Conrad's not going to give up easily. Makes it hard for Mackett, but lifts off in the end and realises that discretion's the better part of valor. Just keep going, and I'm sure he'll be able to make a move, but that's just tyre related at the moment. Conrad will be in a good position very shortly, so just, I guess, just stick in the DRS range of Mackett. Of course, DRS has been disabled because of the safety car period, but very shortly on the next lap you'll see it enabled for the first time in this race, because you have to do 2 complete flying laps after a safety car to have it activated, and of course we didn't get to 2 laps before the first safety car of the race, so that is why there hasn't been any use of DRS in this Grand Prix so far. Just trying to keep all bases covered as you get a good shot of cars going around the castle section. What a glorious castle that is. I would like to go there one day. Not to the race, just to the castle. I like castles, they're cool. Anyway, let's have a look at the matter. Let's see if we can make any progress. Has he just been overtaken, or is he lining up a move on G-Man? I think he might just be lining up a move on G-Man. On fresher tyres, the same compound, so that could be less straightforward than you think. Although he has got a very good exit out of that corner, which is going to be key down the straight. Just going to get a lot of slipstream down the straight, and he's just going to pick his moment and dive out of it to try and take the position, and that is just about neck and neck. Got out of the slipstream earlier, so he may have, DRS is enabled, he may have cost himself there, but he's on the right line for the corner to take the position, and he does so in the end quite easily. But G-Man's not quite going away, but the matter has this one covered as well into turn 2. You stay on that line, it's very impossible for the car on the other side of the track to get past you, but I don't know what I've just pressed there, but everything looks different. No, Ronald's not quite close enough to try and make a move on Vino. The Matter, G-Man and Dexter are in a fight here, and Vino of course right behind Dexter there, and you have Ronald and Zardi, the 2 racing points, just behind this battle as well. So this is effectively a 6-car battle for 5th place at the moment. That's great to see. Let's have a look at Knighton. Can he do anything on this lap to get past Conrad? Can he make these soft tyres work now, or is he going to change strategy and think, I can't have this guy now, I'll get him later? Maybe he wants to undercut someone, I don't know, but the soft tyres won't be going much longer, I don't think. But for now, he stays out on track, and will just be content to sit behind the rear wing of Conrad and just hope that he can just be dragged along with him. Trav now up with a B4. Try and find out how our early race leader was doing into turn 1. The Dean is still out there in P12. He's on the hard tyres now, and Quinton's just been in for some medium tyres, so must have picked up damage that I didn't catch. The Dexter's just lost a couple of positions. Don't know what happened there. Maybe he's just playing the longer game here. I don't know. Maybe he made a mistake into one of these left-hand corners, but no, it's possible he just got overtaken coming down the start finish straight with all the DRS going on and that. So don't think he's got any damage. No, I don't think he has. I think it's just either. Oh well, that happened. Sorry, fella. Might have just. I might have just done something there to him. Oh dear. Virtual safety car. Everyone needs to go to a delta as soon as possible, but safely. You can't just slam on the brakes if there's a car behind you. You have to hope that they ease off first, and of course all these guys are spread out nicely for it to happen. It's a shame to lose Dexter like that. He was, until that point, having a good race. It's always a shame to lose competitors from a race, because that takes a potential battle away later in, but with the VSC, that neutralises everything. Your Speed Knighton takes this opportunity to pit. Very clever move that. Mackett is in the lead of this race, but he won't be for too much longer as his tyres... Yep, that could be Knighton to the end, and look out for him, he could well be. And virtual safety car over just as Speed Knighton comes out of the pits, but he's got a massive gap behind him to Quintin, who just would have preferred a full cause safety, but have to deal with a full one at this point. Let's just have a look at Vino and G-Man and Zardi there. Vino, yeah, that's going to be difficult to go side by side here. Someone's going to have to yield. G-Man just about yielded enough, but that's given Zardi an opportunity to try and get past G-Man. Can he do it? I think he has. Yes, he has. That's a move that's very, very key right now. Of course, G-Man and Ronald there. Phantom, of course, through the castle section. A little bit of a slide as he exits there, but he's okay. And Nadeem is finally up into the top 10. I think it's going to be a long afternoon for him, but I think he's in the right position to do something later on in the race, as the hards will get better and better with every lap they do. That's not usually how tyres work, but of course the hards start off slow and get quicker, whereas the mediums and softs start off quick and get gradually slower. And of course, in the case of the soft tyres, they get slower, and then they just fall off a cliff. So it's tricky to figure out at this point who's favourites for the win, but at this point you have to say possibly Conrad's a good one. Trav, of course, he's shown form every race this season. He's been there or thereabouts the podium at pretty much every race. Of course, the Matters had a great start as well, so he's in a good position, and Nadeem can find a way through on this strategy as well. He'll deserve to be on volume. So it's a long way to go at this pay, but we already have seen this is the 10th lap of 26, which is amazing to see such a quick progression in this race, even with a full safety car. It hasn't slowed the race down. Of course, we are approaching 50% race distance in a few laps time. 13 is halfway, or well, 25% of a full Grand Prix distance, but this is 50% league, so 13 is half of 26. I'm rambling because there's nothing really... Oh dear me, I can't go on board with that car. That's horrendous. I did like to see your progress there, Vino, but ouch, your engine's killing my ears. Ronald's lining up a move on G-Man. Seems like G-Man's been overtaken by everyone at the moment, and Sector 2 yellow flag VSC, have we lost another one? Yes, we have. Quintin's lost it. Oh, that's fortunate for Mackett and Conrad. They are near the pits, so this means Trav is going to win. Not win. He's going to win this lap. Sorry, forgive me. He's going to lead the Grand Prix. The Matter's back up into P2. Seems to be fluctuating throughout the top 3 or 4 all race, and let's hope he stays there for a bit. As a VSC, of course, you shouldn't be overtaking anyone unless they're in the pit lane. That's good for Conrad. He's on the mediums. He should get to the end on those. It's perfect time to switch to medium, of course, because you will get more than enough laps in on those tyres. G-Man is still under pressure, but it is a VSC, so no one can overtake. And there's a bit of a car there behind Ronald. I'm sad that Quintin's out of this race. He's didn't see what happened, but it looked like he lost it at Castle section from the mini-map. Let's just go on board with the leaders and find out, because I remember where I saw the dot, and let's see what happened. Yes, it was indeed the Castle section, because the leaders are going up to it now, and the dot was there. So would love to find out what happened, but I can now disclose to everyone watching that Quintin was very much afraid of the Castle section in our little chat we had before the race started. So unfortunately it looks like his big fear has come back to bite him in the wing, or wheel fell off, I don't know. But we're down to just 11 runners at this point, but it seems like we've had so much more happen, and we've got quite a lot more still to do. So let's just enjoy what's left of this race and put an F in the chat for all those we've lost from this race. Thank you, everybody. The Matter's under pressure from Zardi though. Looks like the Matter's trying to defend the corner for the line for the corner, not the corner for the line. Apologies, I'm just excited and screwing everything up. But the Matter's gonna try and come back. He wants his position back, but doesn't have enough road to take it down into turn 2. But can he just sit there and use the DRS to take that position back at the end of the next lap? Or can he force Zardi into making a mistake which he'll give it back before then? G-Man down to the back of the field now in 11th for a fresh set of mediums. Might have had a wing problem. Speed Knighton. Oh, what's going on there? Phantom and Ronald have had a bit of an issue there by the look of it. There's debris all over the track, so that's unsurprisingly yellow. But I very nearly asked for a yellow card from the ref there. You can tell I've been stressing, not fever, for a few days. Anyway, sorry for that. Let's just have a look at Conrad's progress, who's right on the back of Vino, who I'd love to go on board with, but I'm still a little bit deaf from earlier when his engine was revving, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to watch on board from the circuit cameras, and let's see if anything can happen between Conrad and Vino into turn 1. There's a yellow. Phantom's out of the race. Phantom's out of the race. Where's he done that? I think. Yep, okay. I think he's just clipped the wall there and just spat him into the other wall, and that's removed the wheel. And Conrad goes quickest of the race, but Trav still leads. Let's have a look. Conrad got past Vino. He's gonna get after the Matter, but that won't be an easy task because the Matter's got really good tyres at this point. So it's a question of wills. Whose tyres are going to run out first? Who's going to get to the end of the race in better condition tyres? At this point, you'd have to say it'll be close, but I think the 14 or 15 lap mediums are going to be better than the 23 or 24 lap hards, but there won't be much in it, and I'm looking very much to find out exactly the result of this race. Zardi's behind Trav now into the Castle section, and you have to make sure there's no further funny business going on there. I think drivers... Oh, it's a shame that we've lost so many already, but Ronald is in the pits again for medium tyres. I think he may have had damage wing in that incident with Phantom, who's also out of this race now. I think we're going to have to stay on board with 4th placeman Conrad, as he's right behind the Mata, Zardi and Trav for the lead. Bit of a gap behind him. So this is pretty much the race right now, 1st to 4th. And all these guys are very much capable of finishing in any order in these top 4, so I'm excited as you are to find out exactly who wins this race, who's 2nd, 3rd and who misses out on a podium altogether. Penalties could decide what Trav is in. Penalties could decide this after the flag, but Trav is into the pits. Hards, I guess. Yeah, needed a new wing. Okay, that makes sense. We've got mediums to the end. But of course, the lower down he finishes, the better it is for Nadim and Mackett and Conrad. But but finishing where they are now is not going to do too much damage to Trav's championship lead. But it is going to be reduced if Conrad wins. No, is it? Let me just do the maths on that one. That doesn't sound right when I said it. Let me just double check that. Let's just go on board with the matter while I figure out what would happen. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it would probably fall down a little if Conrad's win and if Trav finishes in 8th position. There he is now. Of course, we have points for the top 15, but that's pretty much an old school race. Points for everyone that finishes now in the top 10. Let me just find my notes and the points so I can figure it out. Potential 30 for a win, so that's Trav is in 8th, so that would be 12 points. Okay, it'd still be in a good position, but it would be definitely under pressure for Conrad, who's come out of early season struggles to dominate the previous race, and this one so far he's doing his job very well. But of course Nadim missed the race, and he would jump up as well. So Trav's okay for 8th place here or there, but if he starts making a habit out of finishing outside the top 5, then his championship lead is very much in danger. But for now he would be okay. It would be reduced a little bit, but it's not something to worry about now anyhow. But I'm just trying to set the scene. Oh, Mackett is at the back of Vino. So let's just see how close Mackett can get into the position. I think I've had Mark on the podium every week for the past few races, and as it stands we're not going to get one today, which is always disheartening for the drivers, but for those that finish on the podium it's an extra opportunity for them. But Mackett is going to go down the inside of Vino, who's pitting, so that's Zardi in as well, so that is Mackett up into a podium position. As I say that, he's got the tyres to go to the end as well, so this could be a podium extending streak for the Mercedes. Quintin's first of the season last week. I know Mackett's been on a couple of times in various positions, so Trav is on a mission to get a fastest lap. He's done that and he needs to keep going. Well, Mackett can see the matter just ahead of him, who's on 13 lap old hard tyres, so he may I'd say he may be struggling with them, but being on 13 lap hard is not all bad around here. There's less tired dead around here than most tracks because it's all very flat, apart from where there's a bit of a hill. But of course you could say that about any place in the world. Mountains are flat till you start to climb it. What am I saying? Just trying to find a battle. I guess we'll stick on board with Mackett as he is the closest to anyone out of anybody else. Just about a second behind the matter. So let's just sit on board here and see what he can do. Eleven laps to go, including the one that they're on. Here comes the move. Mackett is gaining ever closer to the batter, who takes the right hand side line, which means that gives the opportunity to have a better overtake to Mackett, who would have the line for the corner, but maybe he knew he was just trying to get round, and maybe he's just he's on a different strategy right now, so he's just not gonna. I mean, he didn't make it easy, but he didn't exactly try and fight the position either, so I think he just let momentum take hold and just stick to the back of him, which is probably the more sensible thing to do in this position. But he's still in a great position, and that is G-Man again into the pits. He's on for soft, so he wants fastest lap. Fair enough, go see if you can do it. You might as well have a go. Because it still looks like it's going to stay dry to the end, so that's always a good thing. But of course, Zardy, Vino, fresh mediums, Ronald, fresh mediums as well. Fresh softs could get to the end, but it's going to be very dicey if you have hard battles. But at this stage, no one's in a battle, so I'm just trying to find pretty colours to look at. It's a very nice helicopter cam shot. Thank you, Cody's, for that. And Mackett is holding on well to P2 at the moment. But he knows that any small mistake, the matter will be right on him as well. So he's got to concentrate. But at the moment it looks very much plain sailing for some of these drivers. It's a tricky track and they're making it look very easy at this point. Nine laps to go then. 9 laps to go. Are we going to see any later pit stops to try and steal fastest lap just for the glory? If they have a window, they're probably going to try it. I mean, anyone outside the top 5 is more than likely to do it anyway, so I've seen Trav switch tyres in the latter stages before, but I don't think he will this time. He's on the perfect tyre now, medium tyres. We'll get him to the end, and he's gaining on speed 90 ever so slightly, so let's just stick on board with Trav, the championship leader, and let's see how far up the field he can recover. Doesn't have to be a podium, and if he can finish 4th or 5th, that would suit him quite well as well, so he'd be happy with that. Looks like he's trying to line up a move into turn 1. It's going to happen late for him, but he will have DRS, so that could make it very much easier, and Knighton, I think, knows this, so he's just going to not fight it, but he's not going to exactly move out the way either. He's just going to take his line into protecting the corner, but that's too much overspeed for Trav. Fresher tyres, softer compound, better tyres overall. Well, you know, Knighton's pretty handy at just sticking on the back of opponents. I've seen this before. He's just going to sit there and try and make Trav make the mistake now, such as the same as what Matter was doing to Mackett and Mackett could do to Conrad. But at the moment, everyone up there is in a race of their own, so this is really the only battle we have to look at the moment. But I am keeping an eye on the delta times between cars and the intervals. and if I see one tumbling, we will take you on board with them, but at the moment we will stay here. Very nice helicopter camera again. You can see the tricky complexities of taking the castle section from the sky that you might not necessarily see trackside, so it's always good to have these extra perspectives. So thank you to the work of the generous cameramen down there in the game. They're not real people, they're sprites. But anyhow, the matter's in the pit lane. Is that a regulation stop, or has he got damage? Let's just have a check. Yeah, it's just regulation for soft tyres. I think he fancies his fastest lap, but Nadim is back. He took podium position, which could be a blessed relief to him after his turn 1 incident, but we'll deal with that later. But for now, he's... Uh-oh, Trav's behind him. We've had the history there. Good history, of course. They had a tie battle last season and a couple of races this season. It's been Trav taking positions from Nadim on the line in previous rounds, so Nadim will be keen that doesn't happen again, but Mad Trav will be coming at some point, so you just gotta keep hoping there's enough laps. There's not enough laps for him to catch you, and just keep chugging along and see what happens. But the gap is 2.8-ish. I will check again in a lap and see how much time Trav has gained or lost. But at the moment, he seems to be quite comfortable in at 2.5 seconds in front. Fluctuating, of course, so you always try to take it at the same point every lap, save the line or just entering castle, I guess. Is 2 reference points we could use. Of course, the matter's now going to be flying, and we'll catch Speed Knighton in no time on the softs, on the very, very fresh soft tyres. Speed on the hard tyres, which will be just coming into their own now, getting quicker and quicker each lap as he runs. But would he run out of laps to do that? Got Dean about there. You go, you see him behind, just there in the background. He is coming. The Dean will be aware of this, but I'm going to go to the matter because it is only a matter of time before he gets into P5 from Speed Knighton. Forgive the pun there. But he's gained about 2 seconds on that lap, thanks to the tyre difference. He's got much more speed into this turn, so he takes a different line to try and generate his accelerational force. And can he get past into turn 3? Looks like he can, very comfortably in fact. Speed Knighton will just let him know he's still there, but that is the move for the matter into P5. Quite joy for some of these guys today, I've got to say. Even though he may have caused a turn 1 thing, we'll let the listeners look at that, as I said, but it's always important to recap what we've seen, and unfortunately we've seen several people lose a wheel at various parts of the track. I think 2 at Castle, 1 just coming out of Castle, such as round about here, I think it was, and I'm not exactly sure where the 5th one was. Yeah, that's the matter's just got the position comfortably now. Trav is in the DRS range of Nadim, and Nadim's having flashbacks now to Zandvoort, I think it was. No, Zandvoort, he got on top step. It was the round before that. Anyhow, whatever it was, he's having flashbacks to it. There's just a handful of laps left, but this looks like it could be the fight of the closing stages to be kept up with, so I'm gonna stay here as long as I can. But again, I am checking the gaps, checking the deltas, and if there's any yellow flags anywhere, I'll try and take you on board with them too to see what happened. But Trav and Nadim have a good rivalry here. But it'll mean a lot to Nadim to deny Trav over podium, and Vino sets fastest lap. There you go. Nothing wrong with going for that in the final stages. It was belonging to Trav, and now it belongs to somebody else. And there's quite a few people out there on soft, so the Matter could go for it as well. But I think you might need some DRS to get it. Possibly. I mean, he's not anywhere near anyone at the moment, but if he can just find a little bit of pace to get a DRS, then maybe he's got a shot at fastest lap. But that's probably not his thinking. He just wants to be as quick as he can be, and he feels that's the best time to do that is on the soft, so good luck to him for that. But there's a little bit of a lock up there for Nadim as his tyres are 20 laps old, and that's obviously flummoxed Trav a little bit as he's had to take a slightly different line. But of course at this phase of the race people will be braking at different points with the tyre usage and tyre compound, so it will be difficult. But that is the Matter gaining on the back of this battle as well. He's done this very quietly, but talking of DRS, looks like Trav has got the move done with the DRS assist. Well, no, he didn't use it, I don't think, but anyway, he's just about got enough speed to get it done anyway. Next up is the Matter to try and take P4 from Nadim, who's driving admirably, it has to be said. Always does, but the Matter is going to sweep past into turn 3. And there you go. So now the Matter can get after Trav. I'd like to see this battle. Don't think we've seen it much this season, because Matter of course didn't start the season here, but came all the way through, and now this could well be the first real battle he could have with Championship contenders to see what he's really made of. Well, let's just go on board with him and find out. Can he handle the commentator's curse? Can he break it? Will he break him? I don't know, but let's find out over the next 3 or so laps. I promise I'm not trying to break drivers, but people in the chat now, I don't believe you. It's true, I want all the drivers to finish and finish well, but sadly only one driver can win, and it looks like we know who that's going to be today. But there's a few laps left still to do, so anything can happen in those few laps. And in F1, anything can happen, and very usually does, as the great Murray Walker would often say. And he was never wrong, was he, with that? But anyhow, the Matter won't be able to get it done into turn 1, but he could set it up into 2 or 3. He's probably more likely at this stage we'll then have the second bite of DRS, which he will activate now. But did he have enough of an exit momentum to get it done? Trav is going to make it very difficult to get past, but I think such is the advantage of the soft compound, he's never going to be able to hold him off for too long. But there's 3 laps to go, and this race is really heating up now. And Trav of course is staying on the back of the Matter, because any mistake now will definitely shake things up again. And if he can stay 4th, he'll probably be happy with that, considering he was down the back. Very on, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. I'm not sure why that is. There's a car facing the wrong way. Yeah, I have no idea. I really have no idea. Nothing's RD, maybe. Somebody's got a track limit infringements. There we go. Looks like is Conrad going to do Mackett on the final couple of laps? Is he going to get there? Mackett is going to defend with all he's got. So we've got 2 more laps to do. So about 5 or 6 more opportunities for Conrad to try and get that first place back. I've just noticed Mackett's now in the lead. It was Conrad. I don't know, maybe that was the cause of the flag. Yeah, thinking about it, that's probably right. Anyhow, we've a late lead change in this race. Will it be enough for Mackett to hold on to the top step? Will Conrad be able to get back? Will Matt hold on to P3? Probably. He's pulling away now from Trav. Will Nadim be able to come back at Trav? I don't know. Rosati finishes. He another yellow flag? I don't know why. Guess we're about to find out. He's on board with Conrad as he comes through the castle section for the penultimate time. Only one more to go after this. Seems to have better control of his car through there than Mackett. I think he's just trying to utilise his ERS to the max, and he's probably going to unleash it all on the final lap. Because he's going to have to go for it. But he's going to have a great opportunity to turn one to try and get past. If he can get the great exit, which he seems to have done. He's lost a slight bit of time actually, thinking about it, looking at the time, but he's still going to have the DRS, which is going to give him a great shot into turn 3. That's probably going to be his last opportunity to get it done. Though he's losing time all the way down the straight, so it makes me wonder if he's got the straight line speed to deal with it. But he does have the DRS now, but he's going to come in way too late. He's going to get close, but not close enough. So that's one opportunity less to do it. A couple more to come on this lap. But Conrad is never going to give it up, and neither will Mackett. He's going to have to earn it from him. But he's got the DRS down into 3, but he's not close enough again. Don't think he's going to get it done. There's not many more chances left. I mean, you could surprise him. There's a yellow flag. That's not really important to me right now. There's support to the drivers, but this is a battle for the race win. I'm not going to go look at a yellow flag at the back of the field. Looks like everyone else has stabilised a little bit, so the real battle is on. Can Mackett hold on? Can Conrad apply enough pressure to make a mistake? To make Mackett make a mistake, even not make a mistake himself. That would be really harsh if he did now. Look, I've got it out for him, but I haven't. I promise. I'm just here to try and do a good job. But it looks as though Mackett's got the straight line speed to deal with it, so only one more opportunity left, and I think he's not close enough to get it done, although he is a lot closer on this lap than he was previous laps. But is he going to get enough of a run out of the penultimate corner into the, well, I guess the final straight started about, oh, he's got a great run now. This could be very close. He's going down to the wires. G-Man steals the fastest lap at the line, but can Conrad force his way through? He can. Can Mackett come back? He will not be able to do that, and that is, Conrad crosses the line to win the Grand Prix of Azerbaijan. And what a drive that was. Last week he dominated Monaco. This week he tamed the streets of Baku and the castle section, but Mata's going to get a all-important podium for AlphaTauri, and Travis is going to hold on to 4th, and Dean bravely fights for P5. So he's got a track limit infringement, but that's not going to change anything. It's going to drop him a little bit further behind, but not position, so that's fine. Knighton up there early in the race, but only 7th today. I'm sure he'll take that. Late pit stop, I guess that was the reason for the late yellow flag. Takes fastest lap on the last. Oh, there you go. AlphaTauri have had an immense day. A 3rd place and a fastest lap. That's brilliant stuff. Never give up, see? Always important to keep going. And G-Man will be the last to cross the line. And a helicopter shot to end the stream, but well, in the race. But yeah, a lot of action today. I'm sorry if I missed some of it, but it all started getting frenetic towards the end, and that's exactly what I want to see. But in the end, Conrad managed to get his position back, and well and shout out for driver of the day from the game there for Speed Knighton, who didn't have the best qualifying, but in fact I don't think he set a lap in qualifying. I think he was the first one to retire in the castle section, so it got him in quality in the wet, but when it matters he made the most positions in the dry race. He did, you know. 14th to 7th, up 7, that's good. But Conrad takes the win for the second week in a row. Mackett, oh so close in second. Matter takes P3. Trav, good for his championship campaign, but a bit of a quieter race for him today. I'm sure he'll take that. Nadeem, Brave 5th. Zardi 6th. Speed Knight and fastest lap and driver of the day from the game. In 7th, Vino 8th. G-Man 9th. Ronald 10th. And everybody else downwards did not register a finish. So we lost Phantom, Quintin, Dexter, Corey and Quintin very early on. In fact, I'm still not sure what happened to him at the start. Whew. Frantic, frenetic, but what a race. Whew. I'll let other drivers that want to come and talk to me come here. I've noticed we have the second place man has joined me. I'll get to him very shortly. I just want to give everyone else a chance, because every time I start interviewing, like say second, first or third will join, and that will annoy me, so I'm just going to give them a few extra moments. It always happens.
No worries. No worries, man.
It always happens. But I'm glad it was a dry race anyway. I bet the drivers are too. I will ask them in a bit. But I'm fairly certain that they would have preferred exactly what happened and not a dry quali wet race, because that would have been also much difficult to... Okay, the lobby's taking us to Singapore. That's great. We're not there for a while. In fact, next on the list is not Singapore. It is supposed to be Canada next week. Not Singapore. Correct colour flag, but wrong one. Anyway, I guess as you're the only here so far, I'll start with the second place man, who very easily could have won the race on another day if only the race was 2 laps shorter. But what are your thoughts on that race, and was there anything you could have done different to maybe snatch the win at the end?
So the race started off quite well, got a good start. I do think possibly I might have needed the win here, because someone bumped me under the safety car. That gave me a 5-second pin, which I had to serve in the pits. So I might get it overturned. But in all, it was a really good race. Second stint, I just kept trying to get that gap under 5 seconds, just in case the stewards overturn that penalty. And yeah, I was surprised that he spun at the end. I think that was some nice commentary viewing for you as well. So all in all, it was a really good race.
Yeah, it looked like fun out there, and only lost a few drivers to the casual section, which surprised you usually get a lot more than that. So congrats to you for getting through there. But as we mentioned a few moments ago, it's Canada next. Is that a much better track for you, or are you going to struggle there to match the outright speed that some of these drivers have?
I think I'm going to struggle a bit. Baku generally is one of my stronger tracks, but I think if I have to compare to Canada, I'm going to struggle a lot in Canada.
Is there any particular characteristic of Canada that makes you struggle, or is it just the straight line speed that you can't generate?
I think it's more carrying speed into the corners, especially the last and second last corners, the chicane there. I don't know, but I just never carry enough speed through there. So yeah, the entry speed is a big factor at that track, and I think that's where I'm lacking.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, for now, congrats on your podium finish. It may be upgraded later in the shoes report, so let's hope that happens. If it was something that was out of your control, I'm sure it will be, but congrats anyway on such a great drive today.
Cheers, thanks a lot, man.
Don't think anybody else joined, so I'm just gonna end this one abruptly, I guess, unless it hasn't told me. Nope, I don't think anyone's here, so well, maybe they've had a power cut, and maybe if they invest in some RAM solar renewable energy, that stuff doesn't happen anymore. They are a wonderful sponsor here at the league, but for now, I'm Matt, and I will be back next week around the street circuit-ish, in quotation marks, of Canadian Grand Prix. So I will see you then. Good night, everybody.